Hello, so I would like to present to you this case of a 16-year-old Marfan boy, as you can see, with a dense cataract and lens luxation. So I decided to take out the whole of the lens and put in a scleral fixating Carlevale lens. So at first I'm opening the conjunctiva because I will be making two scleral flaps. I put in my trocars because I will take out the lens through a vitrectomy. And as you can see, I take out the lens with my vitrectome. Because it's a young lens, the lens is very soft and it is quite easy. So I'm speeding up the video because it's easier for you to see the whole procedure during 8 minutes. In real time, the procedure took about 45 minutes. So then I do the whole of the vitrectomy, as you can see here. There was also a little bit of lens fragment, which I take out with the vitrectome, and then I do my laser barrage on 360 degree to be sure that the retina is secured. Then with a coagulator, I will coagulate the sclera at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock because that's where I will construct my flaps. So as you can see here, I take my crescent knife and I am making these flaps. So normally you do them on 30% of the thickness of the sclera, and I make them quite large with 3 millimeters at 5 millimeters. So this is one of the more difficult part of the procedures, so you need to take your time. And of course I do the coagulation because then there is much less bleeding, so you can see what you are doing. So the flap you construct it until you get to the limbus. And I take my trocar to stabilize the eye. It makes it more easy to manipulate the eye. So once the flap is made, I will make my sclerotomy. And this has to be, you have to do it normally in the sulcus. Again, I will do the same thing at the other side. So it's very difficult to be in the sulcus with your sclerotomy. And so you have to do it approximately 2 millimeters behind the limbus. Voilà, so my 2 sclerotomies and my 2 flaps are made. So now I will be loading the Carlevale lens, which has 2 harpoons, which will be inserted beneath the scleral flaps. So you have to be sure that you inject it in the right direction, because the haptics have an angulation. So I'm loading this into a 2.2 injector, and I do it very carefully to be sure that the harpoon haptics are not stuck in the injector. Okay, so the lens is ready to be injected. I do my corneal incision, which has to be 2.2 or even a little bit more, and then I take my 23 gauge intraocular forceps. So as you can see, the incision was not big enough because I want to have the injector all the way into the eye. And when I inject, I am taking out the harpoon. And once I have the harpoon, I can continue with the injection. So you have to stop, and then at some point the lens will go out of the injector by itself. So as you can see here, the lens is turned, and so I have to turn it in the right direction before externalizing the harpoon. Voilà, the harpoon is externalized. Of course, it's not in the right direction yet, and that's why I push the lens inside to be sure that the harpoon is in the right direction. Okay, so one side is fixed. Now we have to do the other side. So I go in again with my 23 gauge forceps, and as you can see, it's quite easy to catch the other harpoon. I take it, externalize it, and we are done. You have to go very carefully that you do not tear off the harpoon. So you have to externalize it softly. So the lens is very well centered, as you can see on the Purkinje reflex. Over here I believe that it's not very well behind the iris, so that's why I do this manipulation. And now that's the lens is in, it's fixated, so the only thing I have to do is close up the eye. So there are two techniques, and I prefer doing it with a Vicryl thread, 7.0 Vicryl thread. You can also do it with glue, but in my experience the glues doesn't work as well, because I like having my eye very well closed before leaving it. Thank you for your attention.